There's no time for the sun to rise. Whenever it rises, that is sunrise. Dear students, I am here with the poem Sunrise. Sunrise by Padma Sachdeva, and it is written originally in Dogri, then translated by Dr. Karan Singh in English. And here we are with the English version, and I have already given the model reading of the poem. Today, I will give you the summary of the poem. And the theme of the poem is that there's no time for the sun to rise. That means whenever we get the chance to get enlightened, or whenever we get the chance to shine or to excel in something, that is the right time. And so whenever it rises, that is sunrise. Whenever sun comes up to rise, it is sunrise. Here it is a fable. Fable means where animals or inanimate objects are given, attributed the human qualities to narrate a story so that it has a moral ending and it has some message to convey. The poem starts on a day when it is raining, and it is a rainy morning. Sun is behind the clouds. Wherever the sun is behind the clouds, it won't shine in this full brightness. So it is behind the clouds, trying to come out, trying hard to come out and shine. The sky is sad and alone, forlorn, because the sun has not come out. Sky waits for its coming out, for its shining. It is angry that why does not the sun come out of clouds? But sun, being afraid of getting scolded for coming late out of clouds, it creeps stealthily out of clouds. Sun creeps stealthily out of clouds so it can avoid the attention of the sky. It is like a late coming schoolboy who quickly enters the class, shrieks in fear, and sits at the last bench. Once the sun starts to shine, when it has come out of the clouds, and it starts to shine in full brilliance, the sky, like a schoolmaster, admonishes it for being late. Now the splendidly shining sun answers. It answers wisely and confidently that there is no time for the sun to rise. Whenever it rises, that is sunrise. So this was the summary of the poem. There are two phrases which we might not be familiar with are to look drenched and forlorn. You see, the poet refers to the sky, rain pouring down from it. The sky seems sad. That means sad and alone. And that means forlorn. It seems also soaked. That means drenched. Cowering at the back of the class. So when a boy comes and goes, sits at the back of the class stealthily, and is shrieking in fear for some time, that we say cowering at the back of the class. Here are some poetic devices used in this poem. And there is alliteration used in the poem, but basically poem is in 3 verses, and poetic techniques used are simile, metaphor, and there's also extended metaphor, poetic technique used in the poem. Since we know what a simile is here, I would like to repeat it. A simile is a figure of speech. What is it? A figure of speech in which one thing is compared with another using as or like. Always using as or like. Like we say we have read in the 10th class the translation of the poem of a prayer by the famous poet of Kashmir, Mahjoor. Sahibo Sacham Joni, what me asl chhaltam. We have a line there. Shabnamik pert kood kal kar aftabas intizar. Shabnamik pert. Like dew, how long shall I wait for first flash of sun? Like dew. When we use the word like, it is a simile. It is a simile. And me cannot wait for the sun to come, like dew who waits, who has the patience, which has the patience. But I mean to say here, as and like are words used in similes when we compare two things. And here in the poem is, the sun was descending like a cataract in the eye of the sky. When there is a cataract in the eye, one cannot see clearly, one feels difficulty in looking, and eye is not as beautiful as it seems. So it seems something stigma like that. So on the day when sun was behind the clouds, it seemed descending, trying to come out like a cataract in the eye. But here it is in the eye of the sky, entering and cowering at the back of the clouds. Is the second simile used in the. It is only one simile here. The second is crept like a schoolboy, quickly entering. Like a schoolboy. The sun here is compared with a schoolboy, or the schoolboy is compared with the sun entering, who comes late and cowering at the back of the class, and stealthily peers at the back of the class. Another device used in the poem is the metaphor. In poetry, a metaphor is an expression which describes a person or object by way of comparing it. An expression which describes a person or object by way of comparing it with another person or object through literary language. It is substitution of B in place of A. And here we don't use the words like or as. We have the Shakespeare's line, all the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Stage means where we play some drama or like that, and he compares it with the world, and he compares the world with that stage without using the words like or as. So here the complete metaphor is, all the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their own exits and entrances. Every man comes through its own way and dies for its own way. So here is it's a metaphor. Actually, when we see the language is basically metaphorical. Metaphors express a way of conceptualizing. Metaphors express a way of conceptualizing, a way of seeing and understanding one's surroundings. C.S. Lewis said, human beings are incurably metaphoric. You can see metaphors in Kashmiri language. You can see metaphors used by Rusulmir, even Dohgome, Dharite, Pohgome, Turpistan. So he compares his life with the day. Navi Hans Matrai Langre Girl Barhe Gas Gulistan. He compares the Gulistan with the universe, with the world, and he compares the that man who runs the boat, that he may leave running the world, he may leave, he may cease, he may leave running this world, and we will have to face the day of resurrection. And so language is basically metaphorical. Padma Sachdeva has beautifully used the metaphor by comparing schoolboy who comes late to school with the sun that creeps out of clouds to shine even if it is late, only seizing the opportunity. We have other examples of metaphors. The law is an ox. Charles Dickens said, the law is an ox. And the waves with soldiers moving. And sometimes we say, if somebody comes to our help, we say, Tayran Ababil. That's also a metaphor. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you for today.